Hey everybody, welcome back to Level Uploading Fight Feelings Face Facts with yours truly, Shay. I know I was missing in action on the weekend. Y'all bear with me, okay? Like, honestly, these weather changes and this, you know, season change has been very difficult for me right now. And honestly, that's kind of what this episode is about. Something like a quick little mental health check. Of course, you know that we are quickly approaching daylight savings time. We're approaching, earlier, shorter days and earlier nightfalls, I guess you could say, right? And I noticed for myself personally, I always find myself battling, at least at the beginning. And I'm sure I'm not alone because I talk to other people and they tend to, agree that during this time of transition into the fall and winter seasons, it's always hard for people, in the spring and the summer, especially the summer. You have the sun, you have outdoor activities, you have longer days, you have a multitude of outside things that you could do, festivals, hiking, running, things that are a lot more easily accessible in the summer and even springtime. And with fall, now mind you, I am in Tennessee where it is a little bit milder than where I'm from, which is Chicago. So, like, when it comes to, hold on one second. I don't remember what I was saying. I'm sorry, guys. I had a phone call that I had to take. But anyway, in Chicago, it's a lot chillier than it is here in Tennessee. And so, and with that being the case, the season is not quite as daunting as it would be if I were still back home. Like right now at home, a lot of the times it would be a lot more crisp and chilly. And like today, I think we got up to a high of like 77 here. Now, what I will say is the mornings are extremely cold. Like the mornings are definitely chilly, but like for us to get all the way up to almost 80, it's pretty dope for a fall. From coming from a Chicago girl like myself. Um, but neither here nor there. I find myself, and I'm sure others can relate, I find myself getting into a situation where depression, I hate to use this word because it's so sensationalized these days. People overuse it and they actually kind of downplay true depression. And if you have ever experienced it, you know that it's not something that should be taken lightly. But seasonal depression is a real thing. And as we slowly creep up to those days of, depending on your time zone, it being dark at 4:30 in the afternoon, like feeling like when you come home, it's time for bed, even though it's only 5, things like that, it does something to your mood. It shifts it. So for myself personally, this weekend, I was really just, I'm already struggling. Like, I'm sure you guys can probably tell, like, compared to how I normally look. Quick voiceover, I put a filter on. I couldn't take it, y'all. I'm sorry. Your girl is giving outbreak. Well, not outbreak, because ain't that like infectious disease? No, not an outbreak, but it's definitely giving breakout. Okay, my face is clowning right now, but we gonna get it together. We gonna get it together. I ain't even worried about it. I mean, I am a little bit. I am a little bit. But yeah, I just been really, really extremely like just laid back, and I haven't been feeling like getting on camera because I've been literally been a bum. Like I have been looking terrible. I actually look terrible right now to me. I threw some earrings on. I didn't do nothing with my. I didn't do anything with my leave out. It's fine. I just said, you know what, forget it. I got the energy. Let's do it. But as I said, this episode is going to be more so about when you're leveling up, and when you're making so much progress within yourself, making so much you're on the right path, and then you have this roadblock. And it might seem trivial to think, okay, it's dark, so what? Why are you depressed? But it's a lot of people whose moods start to change around these holidays. People don't have good relationships with their families. Um, People are already teetering on the line of depression, and then just not being in a good headspace as it is, and then having to, feel like your days are shorter. It's a lot of different factors that can come into play, and how some good ways of maintaining, and good ways of figuring out something that works for you to keep yourself on that upward movement, so that you're not losing all that work you did from January until November just because the seasons changed. So, what I do want to do real quick is I wanted to read something regarding seasonal depression, and let me pull it up, and also kind of give you guys a couple tips of things that I do that kind of help me feel better when I start to feel myself get into that funk. It can happen to anybody, so please don't think that it's just, you know, emo people or people who are always in their feelings. Like, it can literally sneak up on you. So, it says seasonal depression is a type of depression. It's triggered by the change of seasons and most commonly begins in late fall. Symptoms include feelings of sadness, lack of energy, loss of interest in your usual activities, oversleeping, and weight gain. So, child, okay, period. We already know all those things are very true. We get tired. We start overeating, especially during the holiday seasons, when we're waiting for winter to begin. Because, winter starts right before Christmas. A lot of people think that, November and December, the whole December is winter, but technically, winter doesn't start until right before Christmas. And so, we get to Thanksgiving, and we're being gluttonous, and we're overeating, and we're taking in all this low vibrational food. If you know, that was trending about the low vibrational plates. But honestly, it really is something that is true. Like, we've taken in a lot of these foods that are dense and heavy and weigh on our stomachs, and um, we lose access to some of the stuff that's we were typically doing throughout the year to help us feel upbeat. Stuff that was going on, like the fests and the block parties and the day parties. Those are going to start closing down soon, because guess what? It's getting cold outside. A lot of places, um, if they had like patio season, that's a thing, especially here. Like, patio season is where we outside. Okay, we are outside. We're brunching. We're day partying. We're rooftoping. Those are things that we find enjoyable in our season of fun. So a couple things that I like to do when I am starting to feel that way, and which has kind of helped me to get out my rut, because I was starting to feel it last weekend. Um, Doing stuff that I can do, which is productive things. I cleaned out my closet. This closet has literally been a terrible mess since I moved here, and I got up, cleaned it out, and it honestly only took 10 minutes. It was like, why were you postponing this for so long? You could have been done with this so long ago. But it helped me to feel productive, made me feel good about myself, and gave me an accomplishment that I could pat myself on the back for. Um, Definitely during this time, getting out in nature has been so helpful for me. I've been walking on my complex. It's a really big complex. Just seeing nature, the beautiful trees, the leaves changing colors, hearing the beautiful birds and sounds, just disconnecting for a little bit from having my face in my phone, or brainstorming ideas for my podcast, or just mindlessly watching TV, trying to decompress, I've been using nature and walking, which is helpful for, of course, weight loss and weight maintenance, keeping yourself active and not being sedentary. Um, what else have I been doing? I've recently, well, not recently, the end of September, I cut out alcohol. I'm taking a nice little hiatus. Just wasn't really serving me in this season right now, so I'm taking a break from that. Still hanging out with friends, still meeting up, having me a good mocktail or so. I'm still I'm still the life of the party, even without alcohol. So it's it's just one of those things. Um, what else have I been doing? I've recently, was that last week? Last Wednesday? Believe that was last Wednesday. I participated in a poetry event, so I have been doing that. That's something that I really have loved as a child. I was always really big on poetry. I dibbled and dabbled as an adult, but I really hadn't been taking it so seriously as I did when I was younger. So now I'm starting to pick up old hobbies that I kind of had put to the wayside when I was transitioning from childhood to adulthood and learning. Now I'm finally starting to learn that balance, because a lot of the things that I did when I was a child were things that really did make me happy. And there are more things, there's more to life. There's so much more to life than sitting here, paying bills, cleaning your house, going to work, come home, go to sleep. Like, it's more to life. I know adulting is very intense and it's tiring. And honestly, like I said, I always say, I didn't ask for any of this. I feel like my mama should be paying my bills because, listen, sis, I did not ask to be here. Now I gotta pay up my bills and take care of myself. Ciao. But anyway, that's another subject. Um, just finding things and finding ways to keep yourself engaged. Um, find some time for some silence, some meditation, some time with God. Speaking with Him and just feeling His presence has always been a very comforting thing for me, myself personally. You can apply that however you see fit. Um, Another thing that's been helping me, and I'm always an avid water drinker, but like I've been multiplying even more of my water intake, like really, really, really upping it. It's really good for my energy, keeping me energized. It sucks when I'm trying to go to sleep at night because I be having too much energy, especially after a workout. That's another thing. Like I've started to work out beyond the walks and outdoors type stuff. I've also been doing workouts in my complex's gym as well as home workouts. So just trying to find ways to feel fulfillment, joy, find some peace, um, and keep your brain moving, and so that you don't get stuck in a rut. You don't want to get stuck in a funk. And also just being thankful and grateful for all the extreme blessings that you have. It's going to always help you to be accountable, help you to live in the moment, help you to know exactly where you are in life. And it just helps you to feel a lot more pleasant about the things that are happening in your life. Just saying. I'm hoping that some of these suggestions will be helpful for you. As we level up, we are always going to have to check ourselves. We're going to have to redirect ourselves. We're going to have to make sure that we are replenishing what we've been putting back into ourselves and out to others. Yes, there may be times where you take 25 steps forward and then you may have a setback that makes you take 7 steps back. But that next time when you do take that journey again to make up for those 7 steps that that you were pushed back on, you'll have a lot more knowledge. You'll be able to see what's going on a lot better because it might be something there that you missed that first trip. Something that can be helpful for you as you proceed past that 25 steps. Everything is working together for our good. Even the trials and the tribulations, whether we want to admit it or not, whether we see it or we don't. I hope, I hope that some of these tips helped you guys, and thank you so much for being patient with me as I continue to struggle through my own mental transitions throughout the season. You know, I'm human just like you guys, and we go through things, but we have to just remember to be thankful, be present, always, always, always know that there's 1,000 people who, probably more than 1,000 people who wish that they had the problems that you have. And that's not to negate or to belittle the problems that are in your life, but it's just to put it into perspective for you. I hope you all enjoyed this episode and have a very good evening. Talk to you later. Bye.